Welcome back to another episode of the High Altitude Training Institute. My name is Greg Reverdio, and this is week 17 of the Intermediate Half Marathon Training Plan. If you haven't watched the introduction video, I highly recommend that you do so. That video will give you information about three separate things. The first one is which of these training plans should you be following? We have a beginners, we have an intermediate, and we have an advanced training plan. The second thing is figuring out where you should be starting your training in these videos. This is a 20-week program, but maybe all you need is 16 weeks. So go on the website and figure out where you should be starting this plan. And finally, the last thing that it will do is help you with the pace. Which pace should you be doing on your easy run? Which pace should you be doing on your long run, on your tempo run, and all of that. That's all going to be in the introduction video. So go ahead and check it out. The link will be in the description below. Today's topic is other running gear that you should be considering. Last week we talked about running shoes, and this week I want to talk about pretty much everything else. Now you've been at this for a while. You're either an intermediate or an advanced runner at this stage, and you've done several races and you've done quite a few miles, and so you understand the importance of having the proper gear for going out on your runs. Now I won't really go into details about running shorts and running shirt. You already know that you should be wearing something technical, something that's going to breathe and allow you to have the freedom, and also something that doesn't chafe so that you don't get hurt during a race. What I want to talk about is hydration. A lot of people do hydration differently, and you're about to embark into a half marathon race. A lot of people like to carry their own water or their own nutrition during a run, especially during the race. You don't know what's going to be at the aid station, and you want to make sure that you can carry what you train with. So some people will go with a belt around their waist that's going to carry their water. Not my favorite, but some people like it. I just don't like the movement and I don't like the restriction. The other thing that some people do, especially during trail runs, is going to be wearing a backpack and having a bladder in it. Now that's a great way to do it. I personally don't care for it because I think it restricts my movement, but I will do a backpack when I do longer runs like ultra marathons. But that's not saying that it's not going to work for you. So I want you to give it a shot. I want you to try to find out what works for you. Now, if you're going to be doing a half marathon on the road, there's a chance that there's going to be a lot of aid stations. So you may or may not even have to consider carrying water with you. Now, if you want something that's less invasive, think about a handheld. I use a handheld bottle when I do half marathon or when I do marathon or ultra marathons. And I use it so I can refuel between aid stations. Now, we're talking about race here, but let's talk about your training runs for a second. You may be going for a training run and there may not be any water available during your training run. You may not be able to do a pit stop and refill your water bottle or refill your backpack or just drink if you're not bringing any water with you. So consider all these things. Consider the backpack, consider even a vest where you can put your water bottles in it. Also very popular for the ultra crowd or the trail running crowd. Think about the handheld and find something that works for you. When you go out on those longer runs, when we get at the later weeks in the training plan, you'll likely have to carry some water with you. So you might as well figure out something now that's going to work in the future. Now let's take a look at this week's training plan. And we're getting into the last week of phase 1 with 24 miles. This is week 4 out of 20 if you're doing the entire 20 weeks of training and 17 weeks until your race day. Now for this last week of phase 1, we're going to continue building our mileage. We have a run on Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, which is going to be an easy run. And then on Sunday, we're going to do a long run of 6 miles. Now again, if you want to move your rest day around during the week, that's fine. And also, if you're going to be skipping one of these days, then you should take the mileage and spread it across the rest of the easy runs during that week. Try to make sure that you're not doing a run that's going to be longer than your long run on Sunday. As always, please give us a like, leave us a comment if you have any question, and don't forget to subscribe. We have a lot more videos coming up for you in the near future. If you want more information about the High Altitude Training Institute and what we do, please go ahead and visit www.altitude.run. You'll find that we do offer coaching, and we also offer a custom training plan for other distances. And finally, we offer summer running camps at high altitude in the summer in Arizona. Join us, find out more information, and we will see you next week. Have a great week of training.